Helen here with Eyes on the Game, and I'm here being joined by Mr. Francis Ngannou. Always great to see you. You're rocking this outfit today. What's the inspiration behind it?
Oh, the inspiration behind it, this is very traditional African clothes, and then yes, I think it's also time that UFC should remember that they have Africa fighters. They should put Africa in map right now.
And well, speaking of that, that was a big thing in discussion. I'm sure, as you know, Israel Adesanya, just so many African fighters, and now you guys are all making a statement. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's time. It been a little while that they should think about it. We shouldn't be talking about it like by claiming it by ourselves. They should be like. But now it's a time. They have a lot of African fighter which is doing great. Me, Israel Adesanya, Usman Kamaru, Jimmy Manua, Razak from Ghana. Mark Diakeste from Congo. So there are a lot of African fighters. So they should put Africa on map. Maybe in 2019 even. Yeah.
Well, have any of you guys talked to the UFC about that?
Not yet, but we thought UFC should have been thinking about it. That's why we are talking, because we shouldn't be talking about. They should be thinking about.
You just had your face-off against Cain Velasquez. You guys were very friendly during that face-off. Did you and Cain say anything to each other during that face-off?
Yes, we greet each other, like nice to see each other, and then like. Happy to finally have this fight that I've been waiting for. That's what yeah. So because he knows that I mentioned him 2 years ago, and he also replied that on Twitter 2 years ago. So yes, we just talk about it. So Ken is a great fighter. He's not, and then he's also a great guy, and. For everyday life. So there are no reason to be arguing with it. Just go there and then have fun, have my dream fight, Yes.
So this was your dream fight 2 years ago, right?
That was,
or what was said 2 years ago?
One of my dream fight, even before I started MMA, even before I decided to make a MMA career. Like when I heard about MMA 5 years ago, I went on YouTube, and then I just put a UFC heavyweight champ, and then it just popped up. And then I watched it fight, some of his fight, and Junior Dos Santos, Alistair Overeem, Brock Lesnar, and then there was. I was like, these are monsters, Then I felt like, okay, if you want to fight, be like great, you have to fight the greatest one. So that's why.
So what was your initial reaction when you first got offered Cain Velasquez?
I was very happy. I was very excited about it. Even before after Stipe, we trying to get that fight again, Cain Velasquez. It didn't happen. We're trying to get it after Lewis. It didn't happen, and then after Blade, it's happened. So
third time's the charm, right?
Yes, third time.
Yeah, and now I'm looking at Cain, though. He does have a strong wrestling background. You did fight a good wrestler in Stipe. Would you say that you learned stuff in that fight against Stipe that you can apply into this one?
Yes, of course. I learned more about that fight. I learned more about, the fighter life. How to organize the fight, how to prepare your fight, because the fight against Stipe, my preparation and everything was a mess up. It was just like.
Like how so?
Well, I accept a lot of things that I shouldn't, and then I didn't know the consequences, and then he kind of like put me back put me a lot of pressure. Then I get there, like, I should take a little bit more time for that fight. I don't know, maybe 1 month or 2 months again, But it's okay. I have to I have to do that to learn. Then I learn it.
Yeah, and speaking of all those lessons that you learned, were you kind of just glad now that that fight took place so you can learn all those lessons and now apply it moving forward?
You know, I never be happy with the outcome of that fight, but once again, if I look at that fight in a different way, I won that fight. I mean, more than all of my fight in the UFC. I won that fight because I learned almost all what I didn't learn during my career in that fight.
But looking at this fight against Cain, like you said, I mean, years in the making, right? In a way, you've looked up to him for a very long time. So would you say that this fight, because of that, there's a lot more significance behind it? Or do you see it kind of just as, another fight, let me just try to get the win?
No, I think you mean seeing this fight like another fight?
Yeah, like do you see it kind of, just as another fight that you're trying to win, or do you see it where because it is Cain and you've been wanting this fight for so long, you used to watch his fights, that there's more significance to this?
Yes, I seen it like the fight that is different because I've been waiting this fight for a long time, and also because it's Cain. Yes.
But how do you see this fight going? I mean, we know and we saw once again, first round victory over Curtis Blades in your rematch back in November. So what are you hoping to bring into this fight, and how you expect to see this playing out?
I'm hoping to knock him out, and that's what I'm expecting also. But most of all, I'm hoping to win this fight. I'm a better fighter than I was. I'm improving. I'm learning this sport, and I still have a lot to show in this sport because I haven't shown like exactly what I'm capable to. So yes.
So then, what are you hoping to show this weekend?
Well, I'm happy to show what I have an opportunity to show. If I have an opportunity to knock out, I will not hesitate because I want to show something else. No, I want to show what comes out.
And then, like I just mentioned, you are coming off such a great win, your rematch over Curtis Blades, very dominant victory, obviously. But what was that thing that, kind of brought back that Francis that we all have known and watched before the Stipe fight and the Derrick Lewis? Like, what was kind of different, with that Curtis Blades fight for you?
The difference with that Curtis Blade fight was, after like 2 losses, walk around the same, walk around with the same confidence, and then you start to question yourself about a lot of things, about what happened, about why you're doing this, about stuff, and then you realize that you lost your purpose in C. So then I just decided to just go there, be me, relax, having fun. Don't scare about what will happen, let it go. It's happened. It's how it works. It's how this sport works.
And that's your mentality going into this fight. But what about the Derrick Lewis fight? Was that just kind of stemming from that Stipe fight?
Yes, I mean was the most consequences of all these of those things that I've been mentioned about, like losing my student view, get scared about things like if this happened, if you lost a fight again, then because after the Stipe, the loss against Stipe affect me, like I didn't, it wasn't like I didn't get off that loss before get a fight against Derrick Lewis.
Like you didn't really move on from it or recover.
I didn't move on. I didn't move on. So I still went on the fight against Derrick Lewis to fight how I should fight against Stipe or So it kind of like a little bit mess up.
But I mean, it is a new year. You did fight 3 times last year. Do you see yourself fighting, and staying pretty active like that this year?
Yes, sure, possible.
And then also, Stipe did have that fight against Daniel Cormier, and he is kind of, targeting or wanting that rematch. Do you think he deserves it?
Yes, I think he deserves it. Yeah, he's been champ for 4 times, so at least he deserves the rematch. I think so, but it's not. It's about executive.
Lastly, Derrick Lewis, he is fighting Junior Dos Santos coming up just in a few weeks. What are your thoughts on that fight?
Well, I think that fight gonna be a good one. There are 2 strikers, so no one would try to take another one down. So it's gonna be fun.